It's me, Joseph, at the Hastings Public Library, and I'm here with Erica. You probably recognize her. Today we're doing another PIXLab Take and Make, and today we are making these Valentine's Day quilled heart cards. So it has a heart, but if you look real close, you can see each of those little coils is a different slice of paper that we've coiled up and glued to the paper. So we'll be working on that today. What you'll need for this project is one piece of cardstock, an outline of a heart here. We made these on the laser cutter, so it was super easy to do and they all came out just the same. You'll need a bunch of these strips of paper. We have them in red, pink, and white. These you could also do on the laser cutter. If you wanted to etch stuff on the paper, you can actually do that and have it say like Happy Valentine's Day or have hearts on it. We just did most of these on a paper cutter that works just the same and gives you about equal slips of paper to work with. And then you'll also need glue. We're using tacky glue here. And last but not least, maybe the hardest thing to find is one of these quilling tools. So it sort of looks like a pen, but at the end there is this little metal part with a slit on it, and that's how we'll be quilling our paper today. So the first thing you'll want to do is take your cardstock and you're going to fold it in half with the short ends meeting one another. I believe for the kits this is already done, but if you're striking out on your own, you'll have to do this yourself. That gives you your basic card shape. The next thing you'll want to do is you're gluing your heart to this card, and this is where you're going to decide what orientation the card is in. So you can either do it this way and have your card open up like that, or as Erica has hers, and then it's sort of a book style card where it's opening that way. So we'll glue ours down real quick.
If you're using the glue that we provided, you'll have to cut the little tip off the top to get it started.
Yep, that'll get it started. And always a good idea to check with tacky glue anyway to make sure it's ready to go. Things that can be a little stubborn.
You can definitely do this with Elmer's glue. It might take a little longer to dry.
There we go. That's the first step done. This heart really is pretty, of course, but it also sort of provides a basis for where you can put your quilled coils so that it makes a good foundation for where you need to put them. So speaking of that, we will start on that. So for this, you're going to want your quilling tool and a strip of paper, whatever color you want to start with. I will start probably with red because that will be the easiest to see maybe. So you're going to take the end of one of your strips of paper, and on this little metal part of the quilling tool, there is a tiny slit. You're going to want to put the end of that paper into the slit so that it sort of holds in place there.
Come around and come a little closer.
There you go. So that slip of paper is in there. And then from here, you just want to start rolling up your paper. So you can either sort of hold the paper with one hand and then turn your tool with the other. You want to sort of keep it straight on. It can tend to coil upwards or downwards on the piece of metal there. It's no big deal, but the closer you keep it in a straight line, the better it'll adhere to the paper. It'll go all the way down. It's definitely something the first few times it takes a little bit of practice, But once you start doing a bunch of them, you'll be able to whip through them. Okay, so Erica's got hers finished. Then from here, you can just take it off the quilling tool. It should slide off pretty easily. And if you set it down and let it go, so I'm going to set it down on the table here just for a bit and let it go, it should pop up so it's a little bigger and you can see in between some of the coils and stuff. So, okay, so your first one's done. We'll head back in front of the camera. And so you can use your glue to secure the end of that coil in place. You'll just put a dab of glue on the end and the inside of your coil. Doesn't take too much. And then sort of press it in place. You might, with this glue, you might want to press for a bit just to have it adhere. And then you're done. So I would say you might want to start out by doing a few coils before you glue anything down to your heart, so you know you can sort of make some better ones, get better at it, and then also have a bunch to start with and get ready to start gluing them to the paper. Additionally, you can also do some different methods that will look, we've made them sort of look like hearts, but people have used these to do flowers and all sorts of different shapes with quilling. So we'll start with some of those techniques just so you have an idea. Grab my quilling tool here. So for the first one, you're just going to make another coil as you did before. This one got a little out of hand, but it shouldn't hurt anything in the end. Let go and just let it unfurl a little bit.
He's much faster than me.
Yeah, like I said, practice will definitely help, and with all the coils you'll make, you'll probably get the hang of it. And then you'll glue it in place like you did the first one. I found that when I'm doing this, you'll be picking up the glue bottle and putting it down a lot, so it's almost easier just to set it on its side if there's not a ton in there, and then that will help it come out faster for the next time you need it. Hold it in place. And then from here, I will come around a bit closer again so you can see. What you're going to do is you're going to pinch any one side of it like that, and it's going to make this teardrop shape. And so this teardrop shape can be a whole bunch of things. A petal. For our project, we're going to use it as 1/2 of a heart. So if I can borrow Erica's, they're both pink, so that'll work perfectly. If you were to glue them together like this, you get a heart shape.
Oh, that's cute.
So we'll do that quickly.
You stole my heart.
Erica, if you want to go ahead and coil another one, that way we'll get started on the next one here. I'm just gluing them together so that the points of the teardrops line up. Oh. There you go. It's a heart shape.
Let it go?
Yep, you can let it go. Yeah, for all the ones I'll be showing you, you can go ahead and let them go and unfurl to wherever they unfurl to. Some do use the tighter coil. So secure this one in place. Now this one we'll be doing just uses one coil, and it makes a sort of rough heart shape. It's not as perfect as the 2 teardrops, but it still kind of looks like a heart. So waiting for the glue to dry, I'll come around again. We're gonna start with the same thing, make another teardrop. And then if you've got your quilling tool handy, sort of holding it with the teardrop point at the bottom, you're just gonna sort of press down on the middle here. It can be a little tricky since it's a round surface. Start it and flatten it out a little bit, but sort of really make the shape look sort of weird at first, but if you let it all go back out, it's a very rough heart. So you got the point at the bottom and then a little bump here and there. So it's a bit more abstract, but another way to do a heart. And then the last way is a little different. So for your strip of paper, the first thing you're going to want to do is fold it in half. Like so. Then using your quilling tool, you're going to roll the same way you did before, but you're rolling in towards the crease here. And you're just going all the way down to where you creased it. And then you'll repeat on the same side, rolling towards that first coil. And so in this case, the point of the heart is formed by that fold at the bottom, and then the rounded top parts of the heart, sort of the result of the coiling. You can adjust your fold as much as you like. And then you got a heart there. So
I like this one. I think this one's my favorite.
You can glue it in the middle, of course, to keep it together. I've also seen where people have done it the other way, where they're rolling out instead of in. And once again, that's a bit more abstract heart, but hey, whatever works. You have all these strips of paper to work with, and there's more than I needed to cover this whole heart included, so if you want to experiment, by all means. And they're pretty easy to create on your own, so it's not the end of the world if you run out. Okay, so once you've got a few made, you can start adding them to your heart on your card, and this is pretty simple. You can either try to add some glue to the side of the coil here. I found it's easier if you just glue onto your heart. So I will put a dot of glue right in the middle. Like so. There's just a bit of glue there. Don't know if you can see it because it's white on white, but
It's there.
We'll add one of our already made coils to there and press it down for a bit. And then there you go. That's the first step. So you'll just keep making coils and adding coils. If you want, you can make a bunch ahead and then position them on your heart as you like. What I did for this one was I just made them as I went through and did mostly round ones and put them on. And then in the end, I put some of those teardrop shapes on the edges here to fill in some gaps. But it's just a matter of making coils, gluing them, and then gluing them to the page. So
Fun.
sort of a fun thing you can do, sort of paying attention to something else. I think you could watch TV or listen to a podcast or something while you're doing it. So
Oh yeah.
definitely a lot of fun.
Well, first of all, you can get these quilling tools really cheap. I think we got them in packs of 4 for like $4 on Amazon.
That's correct, yeah.
They're really cheap, but if you don't have access to one and you don't want to buy one, do you have any ideas for things you can use?
I know I've seen tutorials sort of on YouTube and stuff where people have taken a basic pen and just gutted all the actual pen parts out of it, and then they put pieces in there to make a quilling tool. So there are ways to make quilling tools without buying one specifically for the job. And this is a pretty basic one. I know I've seen ones at craft stores where they have a much larger slit, so they're meant for bigger pieces of paper and all sorts of stuff. So
Cool.
it's a wide, wide world out there.
I'm having fun with it.
I'm glad to hear it. So.
All right. Well, this will make for a great Valentine's Day gift, I'm sure.
Right. Once you're finished, you can write whatever you like on the bottom here. I just wrote Happy Valentine's Day. But you can also put a message to whomever you're giving the card to on the inside and go from there. So
very cool. All right. Well, if you enjoyed this, our next Pinterest Club is going to be on the 22nd, and we will be making memory jars. They're going to be really cute little jars, and you can register for that on our website. And then we have another one the week after that for March, and it's going to be little photo holders using salt and pepper shakers. Yeah. So you're going to want to get registered for that too, because they do fill up fast, but it should be a good time. Thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you, and happy Valentine's Day.